is going on, everybody? It is Lukey Boy. Oh, Luke, if you want to call me that. Lukey Boy is actually a nickname I've had since I was about, maybe like 15. So, more the merrier if you want to use that. So, today we're going to be talking about getting listings that have stock or have booked in with stock, but for some reason are not showing up in unfulfilled or unfulfillable inventory, but instead are getting stuck, like what you can see in front of you. What you can see here is this inactive closed, which it potentially would be if you close the listing because it went out of stock and then you want to restock it later, so you leave it in, but you leave it in your inventory as closed rather than deleting it off and then adding it back later. But what can happen is, usually for me, when I have something like this and then it's out of stock, I'll then restock it. It will actually pop up on the Seller Central front page to basically say stranded inventory or something related to that, where it gives me the option to relist. Now I've just gone in and selected this like in general inventory, but you kind of get what I'm saying, right? Usually it will prompt me to say, right, these need to be activated or relisted, that kind of thing. And what I've noticed periodically, and this may be related to the food that has products have contents in it that Amazon obviously want to know about, it's actually not even prompting you to advise you that it's actually in stock, but it's closed. You've actually got to manually go through your inventory to see if there's any that are like that, right? And so periodically I'm getting my VA to go through the inventory just to check anything that's basically inactive or closed. Is there any inventory that we need to figure out, what's going on? Because it says available 8, but it's not telling me on the front page where it usually would for stuff like that. And I just click the relist button. But it's doing this. So why is it doing that? Well, I haven't actually clicked this yet. So it could do one or two things. It could either allow me just to relist it, or it can ask me for further information. So it's not actually asking me, oh yeah, it is here, more details. So I can go ahead and click save and finish. And that may work, okay? Because I did do one the other day and I believed it worked when I just clicked this. But if it doesn't work, and you want to figure out what's going on, if you click here, you'll see that it's asking me for a gazillion different values. You can see all of this needs to be filled in. That's what it's saying. It says this all needs to be filled in. Now, in the future, this may be the case. It may be that we have to figure out a way of inputting these basically values, right? Let's get rid of that stupid thing. Can we get rid of it? Yeah. But the problem is that some of these, like copper, it's like, is there copper and like, this, that, and the other? It's probably not going to tell you on the general ingredients of the product, right? It's, folic acid. Some of it will be shown, right? And then, in theory, maybe you can put 0 on all of these and it would actually work. But, obviously you don't want to be sort of fudging it. You like, just whacking in stuff to hope it works. You want to obviously try to figure it out. So this is something that I've thought of in terms of it could be that this at some point in the future needs to be definitely included, but right now there's actually a way around it. So what is that way? So you could go through and put 0 or enter the values if you want, if you actually can find them and know what they are, right? But what is the other way? So again, the other way could be that you just click the button here, save and finish, and see if it works. Yeah, because I've already clicked the relist button and now this is within that relist. So if I click save and finish, it might relist the products. If it does not, it's basically saying that there's a reason, and you can see here there's a like little red thing to say we need more details. Now what you can actually do on this, again, I'm not going to show you the products or anything because you don't really need to know. It's just if you ever come across this, what you can actually do is you can take the, you can go ahead and take the SKU there. So that's obviously the unique SKU against this ASIN in your inventory, right? So you can go ahead and take that ASIN, save it, just paste it wherever, just Control C and just don't, just leave it in there for the minute. Go ahead and delete the listing, delete product and listing. Then go ahead and re-add the ASIN, but then paste in this SKU when you're creating that new addition to your inventory so that it links back up to this 8. Because if you create another completely unique SKU, like you do when you create a new product, sometimes you don't have one, so you just get one generated. Then these 8 will not go against this new created listing. Yeah, so obviously that's not good. It's going to solve the problem potentially of getting the listing okay, but now you've got 8 units that's stuck, right? Because you've deleted this one. So if you add back that SKU on the new, obviously go in here and go like, catalog, add product, add the ASIN, use that SKU, after you've deleted this one, then go through the process and it should then activate the listing. I've done it a handful of times now, maybe 5, 6, 7, not tons, but decent enough. And every time that's come up, we have got around it by doing that. Now, again, like I said, in the future, things could change. It may be that it's a temporary way around it because it shouldn't really allow you. It does, so it's kind of a bit weird that it wants more information, but you can just delete it and re-add it. It's fine. Just a bit weird without the information. But it seems to work right now. So for me right now, because it's Q4 and stuff, if I'm coming across these problems, then I'll go ahead and just do that simple process for now, because in the future, when we're not in Q4, we can kind of take a little bit more time to kind of build a better plan around it. It doesn't happen that often. It probably has happened maybe max 10 times since I've noticed this. But it is something to be aware of, because if you're not looking at all, there may be things that are closed with stock that you're just not selling. Definitely in Q4, that could definitely add up. Imagine it's a good Q4 seller. You don't realize it's booked in. You haven't happened to look at the most recent shipment that booked in contents. You think, okay, well, everything's active. In your inventory, everything looks active. Everything will go into stranded if it needs relisting or whatever that setting is when you go into the that pops up saying you need to reactivate, and you may be potentially missing out on sales. So of course Q4 is obviously important. I'm going to say keep it simple to start with, and then maybe into Q1 look to maybe build a process for rectifying this in the event that the process I just mentioned now to get around it does not work in the future. So I'm going to leave it there. Nothing really more to say on that. Nice and easy. Do come across it. It's just another little simple, cheat code almost to get around it for the short term and take it from there. So enough from me. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.